All righty. Another week, another mastermind here. Just getting started. So, as everyone is rolling in, please make sure to have all panelists and attendees clicked. Our chat is actually not in Zoom. For these masterminds, are actually going to be sorry. Our chat is in Zoom. It's not in Discord. So I meant to say there. Just a quick correction. So, just a friendly reminder that we will be in Zoom for our chat, not in Discord. So, if you can please remind your brothers and sisters when they come in to make sure that is selected. All right, perfect. So as people are slowly coming on in, just give them a few more minutes. I want to do a quick mic check, make sure everyone can hear me. Just drop a yes in the chat below in Zoom. Perfect, great to see everyone. Okay, so I do see a small issue here. So I see a lot of people have it sent to all panelists. That means everyone else can't see what you're saying. So make sure you go over to it where it says all panelists and attendees, and make sure you select all panelists and attendees. Once you've done it, drop a yes so I can make sure that that's done. Then we can run this mastermind more smoothly. Yes? Solid. Good to see everyone. All right. Now I want to do a quick around the world. I know we have some of our season 14 members in here as well. Where are you from? Drop in the chat below. I want to see where you are from. Jacksonville, Florida, Paris, ooh, New Zealand, Mexico, Panama, Taiwan, Slovenia, USA. All right, California, nice. Austria, Cameroon, Japan. Must be really late in Japan right now, isn't it? Wow. Hey, well, kudos to you. I know some of you guys, this is a very strange time. Some of you, it's bright early in the morning, maybe 6 a.m. For some of you, it's 2 in the morning. Whatever it may be, I want to give kudos to you for coming out live to our mastermind and making it out here and showing no excuses and having full determination to your growth. Now, of course, with our mastermind comes our hosts. Now, usually I host these masterminds live with you guys, with our guests, but I want to pass it over to one of the hosts in training. Now, Olaf has been training for quite some time in creating these masterminds. You know, he's been learning from other students. He's been really finding ways to deliver more value to the HTC family. So we brought him on to become one of our hosts within HTC. So I'll be handing this over to Olaf, so be sure to show him a ton of love, and he has a ton of energy. Olaf makes a beautiful twist in the mastermind with his storytelling skills, and also finds a way to hide some hidden gems in there as well. So make sure you do have your notepads, your pens ready to go, so we can fire up this mastermind, and we're all set. You guys ready? Drop a ready in the chat below if you're set to go. Just want to make sure we're all set, yes? All right, perfect. All right, Olaf, I'll hand it over to you. Welcome to the HTC Mastermind. The floor is yours.
Mic check, mic check. What's up, HTC family? Welcome to the Masterminds. How is everybody doing? I was about to ask where everybody's from, but we just took care of that already. We're from all over the place. I can see all the love in the chat. Yes, thank you, thank you. Oh, I'm so happy to see everybody here. So yeah, my name is Olaf. I am from Iceland, and I will be your mastermind host for the day. So is everybody ready to get started? Let me see. Let me just take a few of those pauses in between to have a look at the chat. Yeah, it's just going so fast. All right, so yeah, we have today with us the awesome Soporn Pin joining us today. She is a force to be reckoned with and is taking time out of her busy schedule to share her journey with us, along with some steps on how to master your skill. A true high-ticket closer you don't want to miss out on. But let me first start by expressing my gratitude for being here. I want to give my thanks to Vikas for giving me this opportunity to be on this side of the table. It's really awesome. A lot of tech stuff involved, but you know, it's a lot of fun. And thanks to all my fellow community captains on the Mastermind hosting team. We've been training together to do those masterminds for you. And of course, thanks to Seafood for creating this world of high ticket closing for us that goes beyond just closing. And of course, thank you to all of you who are listening in live and to the replays. It is my wish to give you the best mastermind I can possibly provide. So I'm learning a lot. And it is my hope that you will learn a lot as well. So everybody, put in the chat, how are you feeling right now? Let me see. Oh, Sopon closed me on 8TIC. Okay. Yes. Feeling pumped. I like that. Fabulous, incredible, ready to go. Great. Okay, cool. Everybody's really fired up. I like that. I like that. So let me see. We have we have our brothers and sisters from previous seasons and current season. You know, school is never over for high ticket closers. So for the current season, we are a couple of classes in. I just want to ask real quick, how many of you have already had your world turned upside down? The way you look at things, the way you think about things. Previous seasons, feel free to answer as well. Lots of yes, totally. All right, a lot of new names. I can also see names that I recognize. Let me see. All right, awesome. Different perspective. Love Sifu's doing classes live. That's really awesome. I like that as well. Still turning. Love it. Quantum leap. Mindset shifts. A lot of things happening. Maybe it feels exciting. Maybe it's scary. Either way, let me give you a few tips in order to receive maximum value from this session. This is practically common sense, but you know, it cannot be repeated too many times. Put away all your cell phones, unless you're tuning in the masterminds on your cell phone, but otherwise put them away. Grab a pen and paper, turn off any distractions, and stay engaged in the chat. I mean, that's not gonna be a problem. I can see that now. So, and also, last but not least, don't forget to listen. I mean, listening is very important. I know it's easy to space out when you get hit with an aha moment all of a sudden, but that's what comes in handy. Write it down and continue listening. You know, I've been there myself. So yeah, this week's HTC class was about how to master the art of closing high ticket sales. As you may know, Sifu is a martial artist. I am a martial artist, and maybe many of you are. It seems like a lot of martial artists are attracted to the HTC program. Or maybe there is something else in life that you mastered. But if you haven't, just know that you are right now by becoming a closer. If you master something, fighting sports or anything else like high ticket closing, for example, it becomes an art, doesn't it? Let me see in the chat. How do you define mastery? Pen, paper, yes, boxing. Let me see. There we go. Dominated craft, lower self. Let me see if we can read this. Know how to handle things. It becomes natural. A lot of good answers. I mean, all of those answers are correct. Engulfing your total being in something, domination, learning, relearning, applying. A lot of, I mean, yeah, you're reading the answers as well. You know, we're nothing short of answers here when it comes to mastery. I mean, this is not this is something that you are really giving it a thought, or you have experienced it. I like that. Let me see, 5 years before you can consider. Sorry, that went fast. That went too fast. Couldn't read that. But anyways, what you really is mastering yourself, and it's a beautiful thing. So talking about mastery, are you guys in the mood for a story? I have a little story for you. Who wants to hear a story? Put in the chat. Let me see. Everybody's into story time. Cool. Okay. Yeah. I like to tell, you know, stories every now and then. So if you allow me, I will have a story about the impossible becoming impossible. Sorry, the impossible becoming possible. I've been so fascinated by this story that I can go on, and I can go really deep into it, but let's try to keep it under 10 minutes, okay? It gets crazier and crazier, so just strap in. Let's step into the world of no limitations. And you can continue engaging in the chat. Put in the chat what comes to mind when you see this. How does this picture make you feel? Yes, Wim Hof. A lot of people know who that guy is. paralyzed almost, brave, frozen, the Iceman. Yeah. I mean, he's quite famous now, by taking ice baths. Yes, a lot of you know him. A lot of you know him. If you don't know him, I believe you're going to enjoy this story a lot. Uncomfortable, conquering limitations. He's from Iceland. No, he's not from Iceland. He's been here a few times, to have a swim, but he's from the Netherlands. He's from Amsterdam. The crazy Dutchman, as they call him. So he looks pretty chill, right? In the ice, but it's not very chill. It's very intense. We all know that falling through the ice like that can be extremely dangerous. And this gentleman did not fall in. He made a hole with an axe and took a dip. A word of warning before I continue though, do not try this at home. His name is Wim Hof, as you guys know, and this is the story of the Iceman. I saw him first on TV many years ago, immersed in the ice, up to his neck for almost 2 hours, setting a world record. I didn't really think, oh, that's cool. I thought it was like ridiculous when I saw it. But since then, I've learned he has 26 official Guinness World Records under his belt. This man is in the business of surviving extreme temperatures. Some of his feats include climbing to the top of Mount Kilimanjaro in only 2 days, wearing shorts and shoes, and climbing Mount Everest beyond the death zone, only wearing shorts and shoes. He has been running half a marathon in the Antarctica, only in shorts, but no shoes. Have you ever walked barefoot in snow? I gave it a try the other day. It instantly felt like my feet were being continuously stabbed. It's not pleasant. He has also swam under the frozen ice for a length of a football field on a single breath, submerged in freezing water that usually makes you hyperventilate. You lose your breath. And he did it on a single breath. Actually, the divers who followed him had to pull him out of there because he lost his way. The cornea in his eyes froze, making him unable to see where he was going. So yeah, always, have security, always, watch out. Have somebody have your back. According to the Iceman, he is able to achieve what he does with specific breathing exercises, gradual cold exposure, and of course, mindset. Despite all the stunts, all the crazy things, and all the accomplishments, all the media challenging him to do more and more extreme things, for the sake of entertaining their own viewers, he was still being mocked by so many around him and ignored by the science community. He had to deal with comments like, this isn't possible, or you shouldn't do this all of the time. Do you know that feeling? Has anybody said something like that to you? Why do you go through what you go through despite all the negative reaction, all the crap people around you? I mean, what's the why? What is your why? Let me see in the chat. To be a better version of myself, want more of life. All very legit answers. Family, yes. Retire my family 2 years time and become everything I can become. I'm seeing a lot of people saying family here. So you are going to relate to this story. You're going to relate to the story of the Iceman. When Wim was a young man, he met a beautiful woman, the love of his life. They became husband and wife, but it wasn't all sunshine and rainbows because the love of his life suffered from severe mental illnesses. It only became worse and worse until one day, after 15 years together, she threw herself from the 8th story down to her death. Wim was devastated, broken, lost, and left alone. Taking care of the 4 children they had together. I hope to any higher power that you have never been through anything like that and never will, but have you ever found yourself in a place of no hope, no way out, Only darkness, a life deprived of all meaning and purpose. Why so much pain in the world? Why so much suffering? The Iceman set out on a journey to try to understand. If he could understand, maybe he could do something about it. And that journey led him to discoveries beyond what the medical and the scientific world ever believed was possible. According to all scientific literature, all these stunts were supposed to have killed him already or seriously damaged him. But he did them anyway. And he did them to get attention. He needed that attention to prove that the mind and the human body are so much stronger than we ever believed before. Is this crazy or what? What do you guys think? What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Mind over body. Yes, yes, I agree with everything I'm seeing. Only crazy till it works. That's a good answer. Yes. Strong mind, crazy and real. Yeah, yeah. He's the real deal. He's he is the real deal. Undeniably. Crazy and amazing. Yes. Tough. Science could not look away any longer. Few brave scientists stepped up to test the claims of the Iceman, armed with his breath, facing inhumane cold and unshakable belief. Wim Hof, the Iceman, was put to the test. Poked and pricked by scientists willing to take risk, get their careers involved with this crazy Dutchman. But he was on a mission. The Iceman has not only proven that he can survive deathly cold, but he could tap into the deepest parts of his brain and physiology. Among many things, he is able to control his adrenaline, serotonin, endorphins, and the neurotransmitters that play important roles in regulating mood and physical functions. The Iceman has proven himself to have so much more control over the body than ever believed before. He can control his autonomous immune system on demand. Let me repeat that. His autonomous immune system. You know, the one you're not supposed to be able to control. Let me ask you, family, do you believe you can control what you thought previously was beyond your control? Anything in your life, your mindset, health, situation, or finances. Do you believe you have the control? Yes, yes, definitely. If you focus, I can learn to. I'm not seeing any no's here, so I'm in the right crowd. Absolutely extreme ownership. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, you better believe that. Otherwise, you're in the wrong party. So, the Iceman was considered a freak of nature, an struggle with that word, anomaly. Yes, yes. English is not my first language. He's a true anomaly, isolated case of a human with abnormal superhuman abilities. You know, they thought he was just like a one in a million or one of a kind. They were wrong. The Iceman believed anybody could do what he does. Through competitive studies, the Iceman was able to prove with a group of people with zero experience that he could train them, zero experience, to withstand extreme cold conditions themselves. Look at that crazy bunch. Looks pretty cool, but yeah, it's crazy. They climbed a mountain in their shorts way below sub-zero temperatures. And after being out in the cold, they went into the lab to meet the researchers where they could withstand injections of endotoxins without any fever or inflammation responses. None of them suffered from reactions what people suffer. Every single time when they are injected with endotoxins in scientific experiments, the subjects were tapping into something they had never done before. Before the experiments, the scientists asked Wim, how much time do you need to train those people? Do you need a year? Maybe a couple of years? All he asked for was 10 days. For what? University books about biology have been rewritten because of him, and they don't like to do that unless they have no choice, because it's a lot of work. It changes everything. All this because of a crazy Dutch daredevil who used to be an art school dropout, now helping medical experts to understand the unlimited potential of our human body that all of us possess. Today, the Iceman travels the world, teaching people how to take back control over their own strength, health, and happiness. This is the story of the Iceman. Through the pain and the suffering, his children kept him alive, but his mentor, his teacher, made him survive. His teacher was very powerful, merciless but righteous. It was the cold. For you see, out of pain, it has become a global movement of helping people healing themselves. So let me ask you, family, do you see a pattern here? Does this story remind you of something? Do you realize that you are a part of a story just like that? Let me see your answers in the chat. As I ask you, are you healing your own pain? Are you reconnecting to the deepest parts of yourself? Reconnecting to your highest self? Are you fulfilling your own potential? And do you want to help others by unleashing your superpowers that you are tapping into under the guidance of a tough, loving mentor who's on a mission to impact the world? Let me just take a moment and have a look at your answers. Breakthrough from mind prison. Yes, closing people with just eye movement. Oh, I didn't catch that, it went by too fast, but yeah, I like that. This reminds me of tough times, but you get strong. Yes, training focus, freedom from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our minds, right? Reaching our higher selves to help others. I mean, that is the greatest purpose, you know, why reach the highest of the highest, if not to help others. So thank you everybody for letting me share that story. It's been a great inspiration for me, and I can see, and I'm really inspired by the reaction and the responses from you guys. So thank you so much. So let the mastermind begin. Tonight we have, it is the moment we've all been waiting for, because we have a special guest on today's mastermind, or tonight's mastermind if you are around my time zone. Maybe it's early in the morning for you. Salute to all of you early risers. We have a high ticket closer in the house. I'm sorry, I'm looking at all your things. Thank you, thank you. Year ago. Now let me tell you a little bit about her. This is the story about Soporn Pin. At the age of 15 years old, she moved to the US from Cambodia, at the time not speaking a single word of English. She currently lives in Minneapolis, Minnesota with her husband and a 4-year-old baby, working full-time as an engineering project manager. She is the definition of busy. Before this mastermind, me and her had to be very precise, choosing time to get on a call, get together, prepare, and because, you know, there was so much going on, work meetings, going between places and all of that, you know how it goes. She is taking time out of her busy schedule for all of us, for our benefit, so let's make the most of it. Despite being a wife, mother, and working full-time, she is also, as I mentioned, a high-ticket closer. Her resume is impressive. She's been out there closing for an influencer, been a part of a closing team, and last but not least, closing for Sifu himself. Maybe she closed some of you who are here with us today. I actually believe I saw a comment like that, you know, with the inner circle earlier. Yes. So she definitely has closed some of you. You must know closing for Sifu is some serious work. Very high standards and world-class work ethics are required. Would you believe she has closed over $100,000 since joining HTC. Let me remind you, that was about 1 year ago. She joined about this time a year ago. I had the pleasure of getting to know her after she graduated. When we were sharpening our closing skills online, when we were role playing, and I also had the awesome opportunity to meet her last year at Closes in Black in Vancouver, just briefly, but I am very grateful I did, because she is a great example of a high ticket closer. Hardworking, results-driven, generous go-giver who has zero excuses. Allow me to bring to the mastermind, straight out of 8, the 100K crusher, the one and only Soporn Pin. Welcome.
Thank you, all love. Can you all hear me?
I can hear you, yes.
All
Put in the
right.
chat.
I'm doing my best. I kind of caught a cold, but that's okay. You got me now.
Don't worry about that. We will be understanding of that.
Perfect. Well, thank you, Olive, for a very, very, very nice done introduction, right? Also, thank you for sharing the story with us. It's mind-blowing. I'm still shocked in the background here, so thank you.
Have you heard that story before?
I heard about it because, you know, part of closing, we have to be able to breathe better, right? Like tonality and things like that. I have heard of him, but I never tried his technique before.
Yeah, it's a fascinating story. And tonight we are going to dive a little bit into your story. So in 100,000, 100K, lots of dollars. I mean, that's incredible. I'm kind of jealous.
Thank you. But as you know, I'm closing part-time, right? Because imagine somebody could close full-time, right?
Closing part-time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I repeat, that is incredible. I mean, how do you manage time to do everything that you do?
It's all started with one committed decision, right? Some of you, I see a lot of familiar faces or names in here. I also see my amazing leader, Sam Hong. Shout out to him. It's also in the chat here. It's really about dedicating, like making the commitment, right? Like do you want? If you're clear about what you want, you will make time for it.
Commitment, make commitment. Okay, I have a pen and paper self. Commitment.
So for
writing
me,
that down, yes.
When I found HTC a year ago, so I started my journey exactly in January last year. So I'm from season 8. And I don't really have any closing background. As you know, I work as a project manager and in engineering. So zero experience in closing. Closing was not something that I would thought seeing myself doing. But after season 8 HTC, I have made that commitment. It was on my vision board to be part of Seafood Closing team and also to reach that 100K milestone of closing in cell, right? So that was on my vision board last year. And this year, I'm able to cross that off. So it's really about making decisions and make sure it happen, right?
So you put that already on your vision board a year ago.
A year ago. Can you believe it? The vision board is amazing. The genie is very smart.
Yeah. I mean, we were just talking about the genie in last HTC class. And everybody listen up, take note. You know, the more precise you are, I mean, Soporn is a living example.
Thank you. And you asked me about the CIB, right? The CIB was probably the pivot point of my career as a closer. So if any of you haven't gone to CIB yet, it's a must-go event, right? I don't know who else got the ticket for it. I know some of you already did because I helped you get them, right?
Oh yeah, did you close them? Yeah, I mentioned that we met last year, and I wanted to ask you about like how you felt about. I mean, how awesome was Closes in Black? You know, we met there, and of course, I have my ticket as well. I mean, if some of you out there haven't had gotten your ticket yet, we're not judging. You know, you'll find a way.
Exactly.
But yeah, so like pivotal point you said.
Yeah, CIB was amazing. Like, you know how you talk to somebody for 3 hours, but CIB is like you could talk to somebody for 3 days, right? Like seeing Seafood live it's amazing experience. The energy you get from the people you haven't seen, the people you see on stages, it's really give you that inspiration to keep going, right? So it was really a pivot point in my life. It was amazing.
Yeah, I agree. To see all the people in person that you see online, it's a little bit like what I personally call like the celebrity factor. I mean, apart from seeing Sifu and Sargent and everybody up on stage, I mean, you're also seeing each other. You know the voices, you've seen the videos and the profile pictures, and you know the names, you know the stories, but you're meeting people for the first time.
Exactly.
And it's like you know, both ways, celebrity factor. It was really awesome.
And also the funny part is you never know you met at CIB, right? Because there's a lot of colleagues that I'm working in the internals team that I have met at CIB, but we never thought that we would be working together, right? So it's really been amazing.
So you met after the closes and black.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, today we are going to talk a little bit, as I mentioned before, about mastery. So let me get, before we get into that, just real quick about your name, just so we can pronounce it correctly. You told me nobody gets it right, and I've been practicing myself. And now that we have everybody's attention here, how do you pronounce your name?
So like since so I came here when I was like 15, right? My name is have not pronounced it right for the longest time. So sometimes I forgot how it should be pronounced either. I forgot how it should be pronounced too, right? Because I would answer like, if people call me soap, that's me. People call me soap, that's me too, right? If people call me saffron, that's me. So the correct way to pronounce it is sopon. So the H is silent, right?
So porn pin, yes.
Yes, correct. That's right.
Okay, but your friends call you soap.
Oh, I've been called quite a bit of different names, but I refuse to change to American names.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I relate to that.
Interesting on like closing call, they'd be like, who? You'll be like, Sopon, like who? And then it's like, it's kind of a good way to build rapport, right?
Yes, I agree. I mean, my name is Olavur, but you know, Olaf is so much easier. And I see like you know, our family has so many different names, people from all over the globe. It's just names that I've never seen before, and it's fascinating. So yeah, I just wanted to get that out of the way, and yeah, let's get on with the mastermind. I
saw one question. I want to answer it.
Go ahead.
She asked what your name mean. So Sopon in Cambodian, if I remember correctly, it's been like a beautiful scenery. So if any Cambodian friend or HTC brother and sister in the chat could type in and let me know if that's what it means.
Yeah, let's keep an eye out for that.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, somebody's asking what your name means. Yeah. And Olaf from Frozen. Yeah. I mean, that's a good association. Just remember, keep in mind the Iceman from the snowman from Frozen, and your name is like what? A beautiful scenery.
Exactly. Yes.
Right. That's a beautiful beautiful name. So all right, cool. Yeah. 5 steps to mastery. That's the main course of tonight, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So tell me a little bit about the 5 stages or 5 steps.
So you know, like there's no shortcut to mastery, but there is 5 simple steps to follow that you could become the master of your craft. And who's excited to learn this 5 simple steps? Type in the chat. If I don't see a lot, I might not reveal it.
Oh, it looks like everybody wants to learn it. Bring it.
All right.
Yes, do it. Yeah,
so,
please. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So who knows what is the first step to mastery, to master a skill? Who knows what is the first step to do that? Mindset, practice, master yourself, relearning, commitments. Okay. Setting a goal. Okay, Cool. So the first step to mastery is actually acquiring the knowledge. In order for you to master a skill, you need to know how to do it first, right? So learning the best practice and content from like proven result, like HTC, right? Basically, it's like you go into class, you're learning from Sifu. Sifu show you how to do it, right? And then you also have pre-work, right? Sifu give you homework and things like that to really get you familiar with the skill, right? How many of you actually doing doing closing or selling before HTC? Okay. Okay.
Some people.
Okay. Yeah, some of you have done the experience, have the experience of closing before, right? Some of you does not. So the first step is really getting the right knowledge, right? Getting the right proving system that producing result. And who think that HTC producing a result? Okay. Awesome. Okay, good. So what do you think is the next step is in mastering a skill?
The second step.
Mm-hmm. The second step.
Let me see put it in the chat. Practice, focus on the skill, implement, application.
Mm-hmm. Okay, we have a lot of smart people. That's good.
Immediate action.
Okay, implementing. So the next step is reinforcing the knowledge, right? So now you got the knowledge, you know how to do things. How are you reinforcing the knowledge, right? So if you're just learning something, right, like attending mastermind is one of them. Some of you is already still in HTC program, right? Still learning, still acquiring the knowledge. Some of you already been graduating, but still also holding your skill and also getting more information by attending the mastermind, right? So you want to reinforce the knowledge, right, by attending mastermind, doing your homework, participation in the Facebook group, right? Talking to other HTC brother and sister to really share what you learn, right? Because one way to reinforce what you learn is really share what you learn. And really have, remember Sifu always tell you to submerge in the content he has on YouTube, right? It's really all about keeping all the content top of your mind, right? And who want a special tip from a high performer? Not especially for me, but like who want a special tip how to reinforce the knowledge? This is, I'm taking this from a high performer in our team. I'm going to share this secret. Hopefully Sam would not be mad. Anybody? Somebody want a tips? All right. So the tip is to reading the same material over and over again. It's very simple, isn't it?
Repetition, repetition, repetition.
Exactly. It's very, very simple. And as you know, Olive, a lot of people we see on stage, right? Do you know how many times of one of our top performer on stage go to HTC class? Do you remember?
Before they get on stage?
No, you remember like one of the top HTC when they the closer, he mentioned that, yeah, somebody got it. So Payment actually did HTC 12 season, 12 times.
Yeah. Yeah, he's an example of that.
Exactly.
Every season.
So by the time you do the 12 times, you remember everything, right? So that's really about reinforcing what you know. The first time you learn it, you probably only catch probably like 5 or 10% of it, right? But up to that many times, you gotta be getting very good, right? Reinforcing that knowledge. And I do know some of the top performers, they actually read stuff every single day. Not just stuff, but the same material over and over every single day. They would read in the morning, they would wake up and they read. If you want to read the creed, you read the creed, right? And some people even read the material that they jot down the note, they read it every single morning and nighttime. That's how you get very good and reinforcing the knowledge that you learn, right?
Yes.
Awesome.
Kind of like programming. Yeah, I see reprogramming here in the chat.
Exactly. It's reprogramming you. That's why Sifu always teach us how to listen, the reprogramming, right? Really reset our mind. Because how long have we been like reprogramming, right? Some of us like 14, like William is 14. Some of us maybe in mid-age like me, right? Or getting older. Some of us is much older, like 60 and 70, right? Oh, not
Yeah,
14. Exactly. So it's all about reconditioning your mind so that you could reinforcing the knowledge that you learn. Perfect. And the third step is really developing the skill. And anybody know the difference between skill, knowledge, and skill? Do you know what's the difference between knowledge and skill?
Skill is using knowledge. Skill is applied knowledge.
Yes.
Skill is doing it. Skill is being able to use the knowledge.
Nice. I think a lot of people got it already. Exactly. So once you acquire the knowledge, so knowledge is really about the theoretical, like is information that you acquire, right? So that is knowledge. Where a skill is actually practice, is the practical application of the knowledge, right? So now that step 1 and step 2, you already acquiring the knowledge. Now is really to developing into the skill, right? Converting what you know, what you learn into what you do, right? So
Could you repeat that? Converting what you know into what you do.
To what you know, what you learn into what you do.
Got it. Yes. That's an aha moment right there.
Mm-hmm. You want to convert the knowledge into a behavior. And how many of you know how long does it take to change a behavior or habit? 66, 30 days.
21. A lot of
21.
people are saying 21, yeah.
60 days, yeah. So
23?
typically it takes roughly 2 months to change a behavior.
Roughly 2 months.
2 months, so 8 weeks, right?
8 weeks.
There might be a reason.
People...
Yeah, there might be a reason why HTC is around 7 weeks to 8 weeks, right?
Yeah. Actually, that makes sense. I never thought about that. Yeah, I saw a lot of people said 21 days. That's 3 weeks, and yeah, I've heard that before as well. Like how you form new habits. I don't know. Maybe there's something to it. I don't know, but I mean, if you form new habits, but if you change habits or change your behavior, something that you already have in place, maybe that's. I don't know if you can change that in 3 weeks. 8 weeks. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so yeah, 3 weeks to change it and 21 days to enforce it, right? I don't know the stat, but typically it takes 2 months to change a behavior. So
2 months to change a behavior. Is that your own experience?
It's all depend on the consistency, right? Like how it's not really about intensity. It's more about consistency, right? The same like when you go work out, right? So if you work out one day like 8 hours, and then the next day you don't do anything, and the next couple of days you don't do anything, you're not gonna get that 6-pack, right? But it's all about consistency. If you constantly do an hour each day over the next 8 days, you probably get more result than the 8-hour intense in one time, right?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, that's just universal.
Because again, your mind doesn't really capture all the information in the intense time frame, right? Your mind consistently pick up information.
True, that's true.
And you know, the third step is actually the most important step of time, right? That's when you start to changing what you learn to really make it become to what you do, right? And one way that HCC kind of help provide that in a sense, and some of the HCC season 14 might not already aware, is really role playing. So you really want like environment, a safe place where you could practice your knowledge without judgment, right? And getting feedback back, right? So one way to do that is really role play on Discord, getting that knowledge out there, practicing it, and then also getting feedback from your peer and to know that this is what you should be doing. So one of the things to develop your skills is actually just role playing and practicing. Make sense so far? Am I going too fast? Makes sense? Okay, makes sense. Yeah, I'll do more role plays. Yeah, makes sense. Perfect. So the next step is really applying the skill into, the fourth step is really applying the skill into real world. So you want to take what you learned, right? You already have the knowledge, you're developing your skill. The next step is really take your skill to the next level, right? Applying to the real world situation to see how you react, right? So apply what you learn, get feedback from the real world situation. That's what you want to do after you develop any skill. Just go out there, practice, and then get real world feedback. And once you get that, the same like Sifu always talk about like martial art, right? Like once you know how to kick and punch and practice a couple of times, right? If there's like any situation, I'm not recommend this, but if like you get into a fight, right? You kind of know how your body reacts. And then if you get punched in the face, then next time you know how to not do that, right? Not to get punched in the face anymore, right?
Right. We're not recommending any fighting, but I mean,
not recommending. Yes.
Yeah, we're not advocating it, but I mean, not everybody understands baseball or soccer or sports like that, but in a way, everybody understands fighting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Perfect. And the last step is to master the skill. And how do we master the skill? Is really continue to improve over time. It's just practicing, getting the right coaching to make it perfect, right? That's why a lot of like Olympian athlete and all those, they all have a coach, right? It's not easy to master a skill. It takes time.
And that's going to take a lot more time than just the 8 weeks.
Exactly. So really dedicate the time to master something in your life, right? Really take pride of doing what you do. And it's also about like thoughtfulness in your craft, right? If you desire to hone a skill, like example, like closing, you got to like closing. You got to take pride into what you do, right? That's why Sifu always say wear that cape as a high tier closer, right? Because you have that pride. And there's no shortcut. It's just gonna require you to become consistent, honing your skill, keep practicing, and don't give up. Because once you give up, you can't master the skill anymore. And not a lot of people able to master the skill because it's not easy. So I saw one question here, Olive, Dan asked, how do we know we have achieved mastery?
That's a great question.
That is a great question.
So, how do we know?
One of the things that Sifu always say, when you achieve mastery, is when the opportunity come to you in abundance, right? That's when you know you get. So Sifu always say this, there are few masters in the world. When you become good, there's more opportunity. When you become great, the world lead a path into your door. And when you become a master, the sky is the limit.
And the sky is like, it symbolizes the unlimited, possibilities. I mean, masters don't really retire once they achieve mastery. I mean, this could be, you could master every day of your life and just keep on going. It's I mean, I know it's nice to reach that point of like, yes, I've mastered this craft, but I've never seen anybody who mastered anything stop and retire.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. All right. So, the last thing I want to not really close, we just open up for Q&A is just really like this quote I really like a lot. I don't remember where it came from, but it's like the quote is go by this, like the bridge between knowledge and skill is practice. The bridge between skill and mastery is time.
Between skill, just so I can write it down and everybody in there.
Let that sink in.
Yes. Yeah, could you maybe repeat the last thing you said one more time, please?
Yeah, so this quote is it say that the bridge between knowledge and skill is practice. The bridge between skill and mastery is time.
It's really powerful. Yes, I see in the chat they got it. Good.
Awesome. And one thing that Sifu say is very profound, and he said this in one of his, I don't know when he said it, but he say, master other is strength, master yourself is power.
I want to ask everybody if you are getting value out of this. I mean, this is, Sopron here is teaching you guys how to learn the HTC program or how to master skill. It sounds like common sense, but is it common practice? Are you putting in the time? Are you putting in the practice? I mean, maybe you had been on that road, maybe you've like fallen off the horse, maybe you got back on. It's like a dance back and forth, but how much are you putting in? Yes, I'm putting in the work. Let me see. Every day, consistency, no easy way. 10 hours. Is that in a day or in a week? Every day, do my best. I mean, we are talking to a 100K closer over here, so this is what you do, Sopron.
That's what I'm working to do, right? Because as Sifu say, right, I'm not the greatest closer that I see myself. I'm not there as in the mastery, but I would say I'm okay. I'm all right, right? So the point is, you don't have to be great or get mastery in order to do this, right? You have to be good and also willing to grow and hone the skill to become a master. If closing is what you want to do, then that's will be what you have to do, right?
Yes, it's also about being just humble. I mean, no matter how good you become, if you're humble, you always have like that space to get better and better. I mean, if you're greatest of all time, you kind of go like, okay, I did it, I'm done. But if you're humble, you want to, always stay hungry. It's a way that we say it.
Exactly. So always learning, relearning, and learning.
Be humble, keep ego aside.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So I'm wondering if our family members here, if our brothers and sisters like to ask some questions. Is there anything specific you want to ask Soporn about her journey, her success, or her 5 steps? If you want to dive deeper into it.
I wouldn't claim it's my 5 step, but
this is something that you implement.
Yeah, in order to get to the mastery level, yes.
Yes. I mean, like, if people like, you can hand this information to just anybody, but nothing will happen if they don't do anything.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah, definitely.
Just a quick friendly reminder, everyone, if you do have a question, be sure to ask it in the Q&A section within Discord, not in the chat. Once again, in the Q&A section in Discord. And I want to challenge all of you, before you ask a question, be sure to think about your question. Say, okay, how is this going to help the greater group? Because again, we're going to have a bunch of questions come in, and support only has so much time here. So we got to make sure we make the most of her time, and you do ask questions that'll help everyone. Back to you, Olaf.
Thank you. Yeah, I can see the questions are coming in. I mean, you can still use a chat for chatting, but if you have specific questions, just so they won't fly, by us, or, because the chat can go really fast. So put it in the questions, the Q&A, specific Q&A thing, up there in the Zoom. I see we already have, we're up to 9 questions. So let me read some of the questions here and you can answer them. Yeah, good one. I like this one from Edward. How do you balance HTC and your engineering job?
So that is a good question, right? Because I know probably a lot of us here doing full time and working to transition it out to doing closing, maybe also using closing as part of in their job. For me, it was just more in terms of, like, again, it started with a decision, right? What you got to ask yourself when you prioritize your time, you got to ask yourself, what do you want? And is your activity in your time is moving you forward with your goal, right? So if it's not, then you got to eliminate it. So I have to make a lot of sacrifice. I don't go out with friends to eat or to do anything much anymore, right? So I'm focusing on, when I'm at work, I'm focusing on my work. But when I'm come home, I will focus 100% on HTC, right? I spend probably 6 hours a day during the weekday to just do closing and then HTC related. And on the weekend would be probably like 12 hours. But I also take time off to spend with my family, right? So those is non-negotiable activity I do. So really structure your day and time block it and make sure that you follow that time block.
So talking about the sacrifice, I see a question here from Peter. What are your non-negotiables to master yourself?
Can you elaborate on? Can Peter elaborate on what he mean?
So what he is asking, I think, what are your non-negotiables? Let's say if if you have something, you will. It's non-negotiable. It's you don't allow yourself to talk your way around it or out of it or anything like.
For me, it's following a routine. The same with what I just mentioned earlier. Just follow routine and prioritize your activity into different like priority. Is that what you want to do today? Focus on those priority on your day, like schedule your day a day or a week in advance, so you know exactly how to execute those into your day, right? Because for me,
Yes.
because time is really limited, I'm very strict on the schedule. Also have, like, before I go to sleep, I think about what I'm gonna do today, and then the next thing, I don't have the next day when I do it, I don't have to think about, oh, I can't do that, or just get less distracted, just go do it, right?
Right.
If that makes sense. I hope I answer your question, Peter.
I see Simon is asking, how do you juggle work, family, and learning HTC? I mean, we kind of answered that from the question before.
I want to answer that, actually. It's not really about juggling all those. You incorporate all of them into one.
Incorporate, okay.
So what I mean is, you probably heard Desmond's story, right? Really incorporate your family into HTC and really make HTC part of your life, right? Everything you do is incorporating the skill you learn. You don't have the closing on a call in order to close a prospect that's called HTC, right? You also could close people to do things you want them to do at work and practice your skill. Just incorporate that into part of your life, and HTC just become part of who you are and what you do. And then there's no juggling. It's just all incorporate all together. Does that make sense?
I got a question here from, I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly, Jose Lopez. I think this is an interesting question. What was the first deal that you closed, and what was the number one key for making it happen?
Okay, so as you all probably heard my story in the Facebook group. So back then, right, Sifu don't have this ecosystem yet. So I was closing deal for influencer for 2 months. I didn't close any deal, right? That's okay. Move on to the next thing. So I joined closing team after that. So I closed my first deal just by being active listening. It's not what I say, it's how I say it.
That's the key to it, listening.
They got to trust you in order for you to close them, right? Create that rapport. Just really caring about the prospect.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I see a lot of people are asking about, like habits, like morning rituals, or like if you have any, morning routines, evening routines, or anything like that. Let me see. Yeah, actually quite a few. Do you have any morning routines to start the day, or evening routines to close off the day, or something like that in place?
So for me, that's something I need to work on, to be transparent, right? Because I'm very busy. Sometimes squeezing our day just like 15 minutes to do yoga. That's good to balance, like really, because as a closer, you sit down and talk to people a lot, right? And I want to incorporate some of the quick things that just stretch your body, really get you ready for the day. I always do a goals, writing my goal out. I don't know any of you guys do that. I always write my goal out in the morning before I do anything else. I'll just go write out my goal. What do I want to do in present tense, right? Like what Sifu taught us. And I write down their goal, and then I go do yoga, and then I get ready for work. And then when I come back from work, then that's when I start closing. Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah, we have like 22 questions here. I'm sorry if we were not able to answer all of those questions. And I try to pick the ones for Sopron that are, similar. So let me see, what more do we have here? If you see a question you would like to answer, Sopron, just feel free to let me know.
Yeah, I'm looking through a lot of the question here too.
Yeah, a lot of people are thinking about routines. Yeah, morning routines, evening routines.
It's really find something that works for you. But I think writing your goal down every single day and knowing why you're doing this, it's going to help you a lot, especially when you're struggling, right? Because that's reminding you why you're doing this, and it's constantly on your mind. So that's going to help a lot. And I saw one of this about transition from engineering. So question from Ivan is, how do you transition from engineering to closing? I'm actually in engineering, try to look a way to start using it in real life. Looking that step 4, what do you recommend for me? So everybody plan is different. Everybody life situation financially is different. So it's really for me personally, how I plan it out. Once I start to make enough commission, Sifu said double your salary, then I could transition it out. So for me, the plan is just keep closing, keep improving my skill. When I'm getting better and confident that I could do this, then I will be transitioned out. So my plan for me is by the CIB 2021. That is my plan. So 2 years transition it out for me. But for you, Ivan, you probably have different financial situation that you want to build enough. Really, you want to build enough money so that if anything go wrong, you have financially, you will be okay, right? So just plan it out based on your financial situation.
I see one question.
Yeah, go ahead, Olive.
Yeah, as Sopron was saying, if you are satisfied with her answer, you can check in with the chat. Or if you don't answer, if you need her to elaborate more, you can also put that in the chat. But I see one question here from Sandra. I think a lot of people might relate to this one, and I have, I've had my moments like that from Sandra. She's saying, I am very comfortable with my lifestyle. Yes, comfort zone. I have a hard time figuring out my goals and what drives me. How can I overcome this and have more clarity on what I want?
Just think about, for me, I mean, for me, honestly, if I just do like my current job, I make pretty good money. There's no need for me to change, right? There's no need for me to change. But then ask yourself, why do you do HTC? Why do you want to change? For me, it was like, because I feel like I'm dying, if that makes sense. So I'm at a level in my corporate job that I'm just at a stall place. I don't feel like I'm growing. I don't feel like I could contribute more, and I don't feel like I get reward back from what I do. So those are three main things that drive me to grow, to change. If you're comfortable, so Sifu always say this, right? You're either dying or you're growing. So really is asking yourself what makes you happy. What do you see yourself doing? Just have a deep talk with yourself. Ask you why you want to do this. Does that answer your question, Sandra?
Or maybe take an ice bath, get uncomfortable for a minute. Maybe something comes to you.
That's right.
But joking aside, yeah, it's what Sopran is saying is I mean, you can ask yourself, why did you sign up for the HTC program? What was the spark? What was the motivation to do so? I have a question here from Chelsea, who's let me see, working as a closer, I think, yeah, as an appointment setter.
Okay.
She's asking,
yeah.
How do you develop thick skin to be okay or comfortable with rejections? I am able to get through my target number of outbound calls, but I just feel so emotionally drained after each prospecting block. Does it get easier over time emotionally?
No, because you're closing for the wrong people. I've been there. Chelsea, I've been to that position too. You got to ask yourself, am I closing on the product that I truly believe in? If you do, all those rejection, all those will not be a problem. Could you truly believe that the product you're closing for is going to transform somebody's life?
Can I maybe chime in on that one as well? I think I might have like additional answer to that.
Yeah, please.
I've struck. I mean, I don't like rejections any more than anybody else. But the thing is, you might also maybe be taking it personally. It is maybe in art form in itself to try to separate those two, like not to take it personally. But over time, I wouldn't say like, go cold, just be cold, because you have to be personal. People have to trust you. But just don't take it too personally.
Mm-hmm.
And that is something you just have to practice,
Yeah. So in your mindset, like, like you set your intention for the call. I want before you start anything, right? With especially when you do like FCC people, right? In your intention of the call, you just like, okay, my intention to help this prospect. And if he's not ready to be helped, then that's okay. I will move on to the next person because they will be needing my help, right? So you have to set your mind frame that to say that, and you have to remember when you FCC them, you interrupting their day, right? But if you truly believe that what you're doing, your product you're closing for will help change their life, then it will become less draining on your mental stage. Because I've been there when I closing on a team, on a product that I didn't truly believe, I feel draining very, very fast.
Right, yeah. And as you said, maybe, I don't know if everybody knows, FCC is a first contact call or outbound call. And yeah, you're highly likely interrupting their day. And I mean, yeah, Soporn is right. You have to believe in what you are offering. But let's say if you just started or just beginning and you truly believe in what you're closing, maybe it's, maybe you're just personally feeling rejected.
Yeah, you just don't take it personal. It's nothing to do with you.
Yes, you have to
they might having a bad day, right? They might having, you might call them when they're in like a car accident or something, right? Like just like tell yourself that story. Like, you know, you might call them and they in a bad situation, or maybe they wake up, they didn't feel good, and you call them and they don't know who you are, so they might feel crumpy, right? Just don't take it personally. If they, you know, if they not nice to you, you got rejected, just go to next, right? And also I do this as well, because as a closer, I always say like I call a gratitude box. So basically anybody that I close and they send me a personal story that, thank you so much for talking to me today, you have changed my life. I save all of those. When I feel like I get a lot of rejection, when I feel very emotionally drained, I always go back and read those stories.
Yeah, it's a matter of focus on what you put on the no's or the yeses.
And also, Chelsea, like there's a lot of people out there, right? Not all of them will be your customer, right? So it's okay. Just say next, click next.
And yeah, just like a, you know, just a quick 10-second story. I was once waiting for a phone from a friend. I hit my toe. Immediately afterwards, the phone called. So I, you know, picked it up. Otherwise, you know, I was in a lot of pain. And it was somebody else. It was not my friend. And I mean, that could just be the moment you're, you know, or something similar. You know, you could have like, you know, you could be calling during the worst moment of the day, something like that.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. That's okay. That's just next. Just brush it off. If it like just also if you get a lot of rejection in one spot, just take some time, breathe, and then just go back at it.
Yeah, we've been down a little bit into that question, but I think it's a very important question. And I mean, this is if you're not closing yet, you will have to one day. It's good to, you know, keep this in mind. So I think this is really relevant for everybody, even though you're not closing yet. So let me see. Let's see if we have time for maybe one more question, or maybe a couple of questions. Let me see if we have any short ones. Yeah, a lot of thinking about your you know, your routines and how you tackle everything. Here's one from Bogdan. And actually, yeah, I love the fact that I can see you guys are answering each other's questions as well. So that's pretty cool. You know, we're all helping each other out here. So let me see. Let's pick one last question. Actually, I like this question a lot. I ask myself that question all the time. So Bogdan is asking you, Sopan, what is your why? What gets you at every day? No excuse, no compromise.
For me, my why is just to impact life.
And why do you want to impact life?
Because it's very important for me, because that's how I get a sense of fulfillment. That's what I'm missing from my corporate job, right? I don't have that sense of fulfillment. And HTC allow me to have that sense of fulfillment. So if any of you have done a closing call and you close them, some prospect even cry on the phone with you. And they're so thankful that you have called them and helped them, right? Those kind of feeling is what keep me motivated every day, even through tough time of closing. There's always up and down, right? In any journey, my why is really to impact life, and I'm just happy that I have the skill now that able me to do that. Yeah, you'd be surprised how many prospects cry with you on the phone.
Yeah, I know that happens. Like, is it that many?
That's quite a bit, because yeah, it's very interesting.
I mean, you're really easy to talk to. I mean, and maybe because I know you know, it's really pleasant talking to you. So maybe you had it, I don't know, had that vibe, get people to open up. I mean, but you're able to have people open up if they feel that you're there to help them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So again, it's not really about what to say, it's how you say it and your intention behind it, right? So I know a lot of question about tonality and all those. It's really, for me, it's really tough for me to do my tonality. But if I change my emotion and change how I think about things, my tonality will come out better than I try to train it, right?
Yes.
So hope that makes sense.
I'm going to squeeze in one more question.
Okay.
15 minutes past, the hour here, but just one more question just popped in from Mary Christina Toe. And you can feel free to answer this one, so important, but I have like one answer for that one, but you can also, I'm working on reducing sleep. I'm working on reducing sleeping time in a gradual way for my body to adapt. My end goal is to start the day at 5:30 a.m. because I find that I work well in the morning. Do you have any suggestions, recommendations that worked for you? Do you, Super? Do you wake up that early or?
Oh my goodness. Sleep it's really interesting. So before I start to cut down sleep, but now I'm trying to get more sleep. If that makes sense. So as a closer, as you're getting, do more closing and closing, your mind have to be very sharp, right? For me, when I notice if I lack of sleep, I'm mentally blocked.
Right. Yes.
Even the prospect say the simplest thing, I can't even answer them, right? For me, having a good night's sleep is really important. So I would not recommend anybody to reduce sleep time. That's my personal opinion. I know some of us could operate on a lower, less than sleep time, but find a time that you could feel like when you wake up, you feel refreshed, right?
Yes, I agree. I'm just wondering what it means reducing sleeping time. Like, how much are we talking about? And what exactly are we talking about? Because actually there are a lot of sleep hacks, so-called, where people, train themselves and they go through a period of maybe days or weeks where they just feel miserable until something clicks and body adapts. I don't know.
I don't
but
recommend that.
It's just,
I think just have a consistent schedule and get a really good night's sleep, right? Like no screen time before sleep and things like that would help you a lot getting good night's sleep and having a nice bed, right? And having some music playing. So it's really what's work for you. Nobody could really suggest what best way. Some people sleep like 3 or 4 hours and they function all fine. But for me, I have to sleep at least 6 to 8 hours in order to be functional like a human being, right?
It depends on people, and I agree. You have to kind of figure out yourself, like the way. You have to listen to your body. But sleep is always healthy. Not too much sleep, but not too little sleep.
Whatever your body needed, right?
Yeah. And if you want to wake up that early, like I don't do it all the time, but I do like periods of waking up like 5:30. When that happens, I just usually go to bed earlier. I sleep off the evening and wake up in the middle of.
For me, if you want to wake up early, for me, what work is like I schedule an early morning meeting. So that way I always going to wake up early because I don't like to, I don't like to miss a meeting because I'm
accountability.
Yes.
Yeah, you have to.
So for me, you find what is really trick your mind. For me, if I have like a closing call at 5 a.m., I'm on sharp, wake up at like 4:30 and then just hop on the call, right?
That's
if that work for you, then just make yourself doing that. Then
suggestion, I like that. You schedule something really early, and it's if you, it's accountability. It's so strong. If you only have to answer to yourself, you might just wanna, snooze a little bit. But if somebody's waiting on the line,
exactly.
All right. So I'm sorry, guys, we're not able to go through more questions. A lot of good questions here. And I can see you've been answering each other as well. I like that. We're all, we got each other back. So before we quit, hold on a second. I actually have like a question and a Q&A slide.
We also have homework for them too, right?
Yes, that's the next slide. Here we go. Mastermind assignments. So we're just going to give you an easy one because we have HTC people in the HTC program. They have a lot of things to do, like vision boards and learning lots of new stuff. It's overflowing with a lot of valuable new world view. So what me and Sopran were thinking was just to ask you guys, what are your top 3 takeaways from the mastermind assignments from tonight? You can do it in a video, you can do it in a post, you can write it. And actually we recommend you do it video. If you feel uncomfortable with video, do it in video.
How does that sound? Let me see in the chat. Sounds nice. Yes. Okay. And so before we go off, I've been noticing a lot of people were asking about these steps. I hope everybody's been taking notes, but they were asking about like the steps, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I am wondering, just like a bonus, I'm just coming up with this right now. Should we maybe drop in the Facebook group after the mastermind, like the you know, like these steps or the stages, and a little bit of, you know, text explaining each step?
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
That
And if you guys get some value, you know, get aha moment, feel free to like really take me and Olive. It's really like, that's what made me feel happy, right? Really to be able to add value back to the community and knowing that somebody listened to you and implemented, right?
Yes. Yeah, you can tag us. Yeah, I'm seeing Osman is asking, where do we send the assignment? You just go into the Facebook group. Yeah, sorry about that. I forgot to mention. Just go into the Facebook group and you can post your top 3 takeaways. You can write a post. You can also record a video and upload it. Just put it in the HTC group. And yeah, make sure you tag me and so on so we can see it, so we can comment on it. And I also see that people say they missed maybe some of the steps. I mean, you know, that can happen, you know, maybe step 3 or step 2, something like that. So, so if you guys are going to accept the challenge, I can see that some of you already have accepted the challenge or like the assignments, and you tag me and Soporn, we will drop the 5 stages in the Facebook group, the 5 steps to mastery. How does that sound? Yes, yes, sounds great.
All right, awesome.
Will we get this mastermind recording to listen again? Yes, you are supposed to be able to access this mastermind recording. I don't know exactly when and where. That's yeah, but it will be revealed. Maybe Vikas can, you know, send us a message, but it should be accessible at some point.
So within 24 to 48 hours, you'll receive an email with access to the recording. It will be accessible through Kajabi.
All right, cool. So there you have it. So Soporn, any last words?
No, not really. Thank you. It's been a pleasure to be part of the mastermind today, and thank you so much for, you know, let me be part of this. It's been amazing, and thank you for participating too. I'm looking forward to see all your takeaway, aha moment, and remember, you are in control of your destiny.
Amen to that. And everybody, yeah, it's been a pleasure to have you. It's been a lot of fun, and I'm just looking at the chat. Everybody's really grateful, and I feel really grateful for all of you guys listening in, and also the ones tuning in, listening to the replay later on. But this has been a really awesome mastermind, and also having you on, Soporn, it's been, I was learning a lot, and I hope everybody did. So thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you, Olive. Thank you, Vikas. Take care.
And thank you, Vikas, as well. All right, so everybody, I hope you have a great day, evening, morning, wherever you are, and we'll see you on the next mastermind, and or you will have somebody else coming on. But thank you so much for tonight, and remember, you are closer than you think.